Welcome back to Brands Hatch after the opening Bennetts BSB eBay sprint race of the weekend at the final round of the season on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. Returning to the podium for Bennetts BMW, Andrew Irwin. Andrew, it's been building all weekend, and in that race it seemed that you managed to find that little bit extra that you needed to be in that fight for the podium. Talk us through your weekend so far and how you accomplished third place.
My weekend so far has been, I didn't feel very confident or feel very comfortable, to be honest. Qualifying was probably quite similar. I didn't feel like I had a lot of speed. I actually followed Peter for the lap, and he just left me really. I was lucky probably to qualify 7th because of the rain. But yeah, I got a good start and just gritted my teeth. And yeah, I felt probably the same as what Peter thinks. The first half of the race, we had the pace of Glenn, and then once his bike started sliding, also so did mine. I think we both need to try to find a little bit more grip for later on in the race. But yeah, the team did a great job to be on the podium here at Brands. It's somewhere that I struggled 6 rounds ago or however many rounds ago. So it's good to turn that around, and hopefully tomorrow we can have a really strong race, 2 races, and end the season in a good way for Bennetts BMW.
That's great. Congratulations, Andrew.
Congratulations to Glenn and to Bradley, and we continue to think of the Rice family and everyone involved.
And second in the opening eBay sprint race of the weekend here at Brands Hatch for FHO Racing BMW, Peter Hickman. Hickey, you were on the front row, you had a good start, but it looked like a difficult race. Talk us through it.
Do you know what? Every BSB race is difficult nowadays. It doesn't matter if you win or if you finish 15th. They're all rock hard because everyone's so fast. But made a good clean start. My starts have not been brilliant actually this year for some reason, and made a nice clean one. Glenn just beat me to turn 1, but I was quite happy to follow Glenn really to start with. As Andrew said, I felt like I actually had a bit more pace than Glenn at the start, but there's just no reason to pass, to be quite honest. You know, I think even at one point we had a bit of a gap over the guys behind. So on my pit board we had a bit of room, a bit of space. So I thought I'd just sit there.
Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I was a little bit. I wasn't sure entirely what happened on the first lap, but them first laps can be a little bit wild anyway. So somebody obviously nudged someone else out of the way, and that was that. But nice to be out of the way of all that, to be quite honest. But yeah, I was quite happy just sat there with Glenn and figured it was just bide our time and see where we end up. But from mid-distance onwards, we just don't quite have enough rear grip. Nearly crashed at Druids trying to stick with Glenn on the exit, and that's what let Andy have a go at me at the bottom of Graham Hill. True Andy Starr gave me a little nudge as he come through as well, so which always makes me smile one way or another. So I followed him for the rest of the lap, and I knew already I was really strong in sector 1, so I passed him straight away because I realised there was someone else behind as well. So I didn't want to fall back into that pack of third and someone else having a go at you for third. So really pushed on really hard towards the end of the race. Glenn was obviously miles ahead by that point, but stayed in the 25s for the whole race. So that's a really good positive thing, and we're probably only looking really for 0.3 of a second a lap to try and stay with Glenn, at least at the moment. Let's see what he does tomorrow, but I don't know where I'm starting. I think I'm on the front row, which should be nice. Just really happy for Faye, the whole FHO racing team. They've done a fantastic job, so just massive thanks to them. You know, we've been really fast this last 4 rounds, and it's down to them really for never giving up and finding all the things in the background really. So really happy with that, and just same as what Andy said. Obviously, well done to Glenn, massive well done to Brad Ray for winning the championship, and also thoughts with all the Chrissy Rouse family.
And back on the top step of the podium for Honda Racing in the opening race of the weekend here at Brands Hatch, Glenn Irwin. Glenn, there wasn't much more you could have done in the fight for the title. We knew it was going to be a long shot, but it must feel so satisfying to have won the race in the style that you did today. Yeah,
it's all I could do, and yeah, that's what we done. It's not enough to win the championship, but let's be realistic. Bradley has outperformed me the majority of this season. The past few rounds we have probably been on a par in terms of pace, which has been a huge step up for Honda, and also myself. If anything, it's given me more for next year, but it's a little too late for this year. And hats off to him. He's a very deserving champion. I was glad to see it. He's a young lad. Has a big future in the sport. As much as I'd love to race against him here next year, I don't know what his plans are, but if he gets a move towards Superbike, I hope he does, because it's about time that they took some talent from this championship. So enough on Brad. The bike was faultless. My words to the boys were I could do another 100 laps out there. I think the last penultimate lap or 2 laps from the end I did a 25.2. Just to make sure that I had a nice gap on the last 2 laps, and yeah, it was just thoroughly enjoyable. Obviously, there was lots of rumours about my future, and you know, of course, I was riding around there thinking about my future. You know, decisions are made and stuff, but it's like, oh, you know, is it the right thing to do? You get all them silly thoughts, and I was like, stop thinking about that, just win the race. So it's always nice when you look behind and to see your younger brother on the podium. Definitely prefer looking behind, seeing him on the podium than looking ahead. But also for Pete to finish second, you know, we have a different kind of respect compared to the other riders. We all respect each other here, but we're also road racers, and it's nice to show that we can do both. But yeah, I don't have much more to say. I want to do the exact same tomorrow. I expect a different fight. I expect Brad, with the pressure off, to give it his all. But it's also a perfect chance for me to try to have a really good fight with him. With also a major focus on securing second in the championship. So,
because you now have 13 points over Tommy going into the 2 races tomorrow, so that must feel comfortable as well. I know it can go quickly, but it's better than 1 point.
Yeah, here it's better than 1, and it for sure can go quickly. But if it's 13 after the 3rd race tomorrow, then that would be obviously very comfortable. But yeah, well done Andy, Pete, well done Brad in his championship, and like the other 2 lads have said, I think we'll be touching on this all weekend. You know, I think our performances, our racing, everything we're doing this weekend is in memory of Chrissy, and we're all thinking of the Rice family.